All right, we are back. Let's see. Maybe it worked. I don't know. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't understand why it
Technology.
really does. It hits you in the face.
Well, episode 14.
Episode 14. I know. Let's see. We will turn that off. And I don't think it probably echoes. Who cares? Do you really care?
I don't hear any
Hang
echoes.
on.
I don't hear nothing.
God damn it. A lot of times you figure I would know what the hell I'm doing, and half the time I'm like a trained monkey. You know what I mean? All right, hang
Cool.
on.
Only the best for our fan. Oh, okay. No, I'm totally talking. We're talking about our number one fan.
Let's see.
Yeah, I thought about bringing him up, but then I was like,
Yeah, it's weird. I can't even hear you guys.
You decided, well, it's fine. He's okay.
Yeah, you
Can you hear
can.
me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear
you can hear you just fine. Yep.
I can't hear you at all.
We need to hire the producer because it's ridiculous.
Interesting.
Yeah, but if we fire the producer, then there's no show.
Also, that's true. That's
Huh.
hard to.
We are, don't worry.
So he won't give us a topic.
Yeah.
Type in the comments if you can hear us.
Type in the comments. There we go. I don't know. That's weird.
Whatever.
Whatever. All right. At least we don't have an echo. I'll just edit that out. Hey.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
That's the stuff. Today's special day, guys, because it is Shannon's Day. Today is Shannon's Day. We should just put that in the title. It's Shannon's Day.
And it's not even my birthday yet.
When is your birthday?
28th.
Oh, well, fuck. We should have waited.
Nope. I thought about that. I'm like, no, I'm too excited. We're doing this right now. It's happening.
Yeah. Well, my birthday was 2 weeks ago, so I'm kind of late. We'll do it next year. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, it's I mean, we'll still be going. We'll still be doing this for like 6 more years. So.
Yeah, I know, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
All right, sponsor time. Woo!
Yeah.
I went to my brother's house yesterday, and dude, watching him do this is fucking crazy. That 18, I don't know why he hasn't changed that. Dude, he's telling me that the store he sells in a store, he has to keep up with supply and demand with this guy. He's like, dude, your shit sells out like in a fucking week. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, I gotta make shit all the fucking time. He was making stuff there when I was there. I was like, dude, are we going to swim? He's like, all right, hang on, I got to do an order. I'm like, get the fuck out, dude. So he does a lot.
That's awesome, though, man. I mean,
yeah, he keeps up.
I would think that there'd be an automated way to do that, like for the thing to update.
So what's surprising with him, he's like, dude, I'll be honest, online stuff is kind of low, but he says the store stuff is all the time. He's like, I got to make them once a week and get over there. And he my brother makes it all by hand, packaging, stickers. He was making stickers while I was there. putting stuff together. He made some for my daughter. He gave me some. He made a big old bag of L'Oreals. And her mom, my daughter's mom, was like, "What are we going to do with that?" And my daughter's like, "The bathtub." We can just throw it in the bathtub. I was like, "All right, well, you got play toys in the bathtub. All right."
Yeah.
Sure.
As long as the hooks aren't in them, I guess.
No, there's no hooks. There's no hooks.
Yeah, getting hooked, not fun.
No, not at all. No.
That is the worst feeling.
All right. Before we start, 10 albums, right? There's 10.
There are 10 as far as I know.
I didn't fuck up this time. Yes.
Minus like a live. There might be a live or a couple deluxe versions of something. But
yeah, there are definitely live albums.
They got a lot of EPs and live stuff.
Studio.
I've noticed. Yeah, I noticed a lot, which is great. This band's been 20 plus years, almost 25, close to it, right? Now, when did you start listening to them, Shannon?
Well, and longer. I was gonna say longer than that because they had before they were Coheed and Cambria, they were other things.
That's right. It was 95.
95, yeah, because
they started a band, if you will.
Yeah, because Coheed was actually supposed to be like a side project for the other band that did not take off.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
have you been with the band since the first album, or you waited until you heard like one of the albums caught?
No, I first heard of them in it was let me look here. It would have been right before or right around the time that they released the second Good Apollo album, so like 2007-ish. A friend of mine was like, "Oh, I think you'd really like this band. You should check them out." And I'm like, "Okay."
That one. That makes sense.
And here we are.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But you've listened, even before we did this, you've listened to every album from them, I'm guessing, or close to it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is my first.
And I started even though.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but
yeah,
I've only been trying to get you to listen to them for the last 15 years. Whatever.
Yeah,
brother.
Damn you.
Hey,
That's why I want to see.
But yeah, even though even though the second Good Apollo had come out, I still listened to them in order. So the first album that I heard from them was still Second Stage Turbine Blade.
Gotcha. So this is a down memory lane for you a little bit. Probably haven't listened to some of these albums in quite a while.
Oh yeah.
Like I've heard of them. I know what's funny.
Not start to finish.
Okay. Able to go through. It's funny because I do recognize Good Apollo because that was. We'll get into it, but I saw that record before. But I know what the lead singer looks like because he's a very unique type of guy. Especially playing an Explorer guitar. I'm like, fuck you, man. That's James Hetfield. I don't want to hear that shit. But he plays very well. So he earned the right to play an Explorer. Remember that. And he has two piercings, right? With the frizzy hair. Looks like a troll doll. I just want to fucking shake him.
Oh, when he comes out, a lot of times he'll come out on stage with his hair pulled back. And then, he gets up there and he takes it down and it's like standing ovation when he like pulls his hair down. People freak out. It's
like a damn Brillo pad. Let me wash some dishes with your head. All right. Are we ready to go down?
Go down the
Coheed and how do you say the band?
Coheed and Cambria.
Coheed and Cambria.
There you go. I am not good at talking. That's why. Cambria. Coheed and Cambria.
That's why you
have hard.
Have you met me? I'm not good at talking. Like, it's something about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. Are we starting with the very first one?
Looks like it.
No.
Yeah. Oh, shit. No.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Color
We're
Before
going
the
with
Sun.
Color Before the Sun. Shannon, you want to take this one?
Sure.
Come on. You started. This is your day. I'm
so-
starting with you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Okay.
great. It's great. Color Before the Sun definitely holds a special place in my heart.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I still gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it is definitely among their weaker albums for sure.
Okay.
And I think a big part of that comes from the fact that this is of Coheed and Cambria. This is the only album that is not in their Coheed and Cambria universe. Right?
Yeah,
These are
I
just
saw
a
that.
bunch. Yeah, like these are
Okay.
just a bunch of songs that they were like, hey,
This
we
is
got
more
these
of
songs. They don't fit into the universe, but we have them and people want them. So here's an album.
more delved into his personal life, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he has Atlas. He wrote a song for his son, and people are like, why is this not a song that, like, he just played a little bit on his Instagram, and people, of course, are like, oh my God, why is this not on an album? This is amazing. Rah! And it is, for the record. Totally 100%. My entire wedding was based on the song Here to Mars.
Ah, shit.
Like that.
Oh, we're getting this fucking personal. All right. Okay.
Say what you want about Coheed and Cambria. The man can write a freaking love song. Like, he does it all, and they're great, and they're cheesy, and they're wonderful, and I love them.
You know, he does have this way of writing he has a certain way of writing songs, and he has niches of, okay, this is a love song, and he has a way of doing things and talking and how he puts his words, and the music itself, you can just tell, like, oh, this is a melodic, slow love song. What about you, John? Did you listen to this one?
Of course I did.
Oh, good.
I mean, again, I liked it. I too gave it a 7 out of 10. I really like You Got Spirit, Kid. I think that's my favorite song off of the album.
That was
Probably
that was a very different one. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, like Island, I feel like was a great
Island is a really
song
good
to start with. I love Peace
opener.
to the Mountain. You just kind of do this.
Yep.
Peace to the Mountain was what I was going to say. That was one of those memorable songs to me from the album. I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. It's not a memorable album to me. It's not. I guess the problem is it should not have been released as Coheed and Cambria. It shouldn't have. It should have maybe been a side project. Hell, take the whole band and make a side project with them and use those songs as a different vehicle. I understand. It's funny. I don't go down the rabbit hole with bands that much. I did go down the rabbit hole with this one to figure out what. Oh,
there's a rabbit hole to go down.
It is. It's a very vast. I understand the prog side of them because of the story. This big comic, fucking science fiction, fucking story. Totally understand that. And when I see the term prog rock, I do not see it until you figure out the story element, kind of like Rush and like 2112, and you figure out, oh, the story is the prog side, and they have to sprinkle in prog elements. They sprinkle in stuff. I noticed that a lot. But when it came to this, and I dare to say this album's very bland. Very bland. But I gave it a 4. That is very interesting.
I really can't disagree with you. This is one of those albums where, like, if you're like, oh, I want to listen to Coheed and Cambria, I throw the first couple at you, make sure that you're like invested and you're in it, and then we introduce some
sprinkle
of this. Introduce some of this.
This album should maybe been a couple songs as B-sides. You know, acoustic. If you're going to do an acoustic set, this would be that album. I feel like you could have done all acoustic. I appreciate it, but I gave it a 4. But it's not up to me. Where are we putting this, Shannon? If you gave it a 7, it sounds like it's kind of like all right.
I'd put it well, obviously I think everything should be either yeah or super duper, but I will throw this one in Lawnmower, I think.
Lawnmower, I changed it up. It's shredding.
Oh,
that's
hold
always
on. What do we have?
Shredding. All right.
Oh, okay.
Lawnmower.
Wait. No, I thought like Lawnmower's like you're all right.
Okay, what are we going to change?
All right to me is like lukewarm. It's high.
Okay. So what are we going to change? A. A is into awesome.
A for awesome. Last time we did yeah, and I like
we'll do
that.
Yeah. This is yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Lawnmower. I'm okay with that because it is one of those albums you can put in the background and listen to. I just wasn't invested in it. You know what I mean? Because when you look at it, when you go from ascension to descension to that to unheavily, you're doing it. When to me it was a well, we got to hang it right really quick. Oh, we got to get back in chorus. You know, so okay,
I don't disagree.
Okay.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just 4 out of 10 is unacceptable.
I feel like a lot of your albums,
nothing is below average by this band. I will fight you.
Is everything on your list not below a 6?
Correct. Remember, 5 out of 10 is average for me.
That's true.
I don't think they put up anything that's just
close
average.
to being average. It was very close. I wasn't being honest.
No, unacceptable. Unacceptable.
You
gave a hymn album like 7 or 8 out of 10, and you're saying this. I will fight you. I will fight you. Okay.
John, you want to take this one?
You're not starting strong right now. You're the Black Rainbow. Okay.
Yeah, I can take this one. Sure.
Okay. Year of the Black.
Year of the Black Rainbow. Well, while I was working on my vacation.
Actually, if I remember correctly,
what?
If I remember, I am very curious to see how you drummers feel about this album. I'm going to double check though, because I might be misremembering.
No, you're right.
Yep.
You're right. Because it's who it is.
Chris Penny's the drummer on this.
No.
No, it's not this one. Okay.
He came after
Taylor Hawkins.
That's right.
Taylor Hawkins is the drummer.
This is the Taylor Hawkins album, which you can tell a difference. Huge. Yep. But John, please go. Please.
I as I was working on my vacation. My
not hard enough, is it?
My unpaid my
contribution.
My unpaid therapy session that I was giving to certain people. Let's see. There is like, you can feel the emotion in this album. Like,
what did you give the album?
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 also. I did
because
too.
it's it's one of those. It's like a roller coaster ride on like the way the songs happen to go, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like I said, I like to end the album with the Black Rainbow like that. I was just feeling it.
It very Rush oriented.
Yeah, it was just
Very Rush. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah.
yeah.
I gave it an 8 too. So, but that's the problem. That's the problem. There's a problem here
because it's not that.
the problem is, in one of the big things, being a drummer, the very first 4 albums, I always thought the drummer was in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why now too, because I did watch the drummer on Drumeo. He had a Drumeo on YouTube. He was playing a couple tracks and talked about his drumming style. So I did watch that about him. The guy that was originally drummer, he left because of drugs, and now he's back. I forgot his name. The guy who ever came back a couple albums ago, came back. When Taylor Hawkins played this album, the drums opened up. It was a bigger sound, which they can do. They are really good at doing that. They just have a bigger. They could do the bigger, just more openness. I always felt like very epic, very epic. And Taylor's part of an epic group with Foo Fighters, and that part. Like I wrote, and I quote, another drummer, but is still better than the original drummer. That's exactly what I wrote. I always feel like the first 4 albums, even a couple of these later ones, the drummer he has a way of playing, but I feel like he could be doing so much more. But maybe that's the charm of Coheed. It's the charm of it. I just feel like the drums could have been. Taylor showed me it could be so much more. I was like, holy fuck. It's like, wow. And the sound of his drums were so much better too. Like,
yeah, I wonder if this, because I don't know if he's using like an electronic kit or if he's using triggers.
But in this album?
No, Taylor Hawkins is not. But just
you mean the Josh Shepard?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't use. He's a heavy hitter. He's a super. He has to put weights like on his snare drum, like on the legs to keep his snare there. The dude hits like a fucking freight train. I give him that. His faces are great too, because he has good drum faces.
Yeah, and he's got to be using triggers or something because it just sounds like.
He didn't have any triggers on Drumeo that I watched, but
really,
he has bass drum, snare, 1 tom, 1 floor. That's it.
I mean, that's all you need, really.
I always feel like you need at least 2 racks and a floor, or 2 and 2. That's where the problem is. You only can do with so much that's there, right? You're not a jazz drummer. You're not.
Right.
You're a rock drummer. I know you just want to be in the quotations as a rock drummer because it is a very eclectic, hardcore emo-ish type of band, right? Hard emo. That's what I call them. Hard emo.
I don't know about
that. I kind of put him in that realm because of the song elements, the emotions of it, talking about, the story, the emotions of it. So,
okay.
I gave it an 8. I thought it was great. I thought it was really good. His singing was really good on this album too.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, this one, it seemed like he was less how he normally sings, I guess.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But
Yeah.
what do you? I'm guessing 7, 8, 7, 8.
7.5.
There you go. This was a really good album, especially being the 5th album.
I'm
Really
sorry, I
good.
lied. This was a 7. 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, no, 7 out of 10.
Is there something you didn't like about it?
It's good. Solid. I think for me, there are other albums that are like, because of course I'm listening to them back to back, and there are other albums that I'm like, well, this one is significantly better, and it's getting an 8. So then I'm like, well, I can't really give this one an 8 because I don't think it's on the same level as this other album. So I guess it's a 7 anyway.
Oh, so
You
you're
see what I mean? Like I was
albums.
kind of comparing it to other albums, which I guess I'm not really supposed to do, but it ended up happening.
Now, we just started with one album. We're on the second one. Do you want me to bring up the list of what people gave that album, like other companies?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Fair enough.
I want to live in my bubble.
That's a good bubble. John, where are we putting this, sir?
I'm putting it in. Yeah.
That's a good call. I think it's a solid. Being their 5th album, it's pretty solid. It's really good.
It's really good.
All 10 of their albums are solid. Fight me.
You got what? You'll be here in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep, let's go.
Shit.
Yeah,
I'll be on call. Damn. I'll be on call. Fuck.
Right, hold on. I have it in my calendar here. Let's see.
You could have done a live one, guys.
I know.
You're here the 17th
or the
16th through the 24th or something?
23rd, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure when we're going home yet. Friday, Saturday, something.
So yeah, 17th or 18th. There you go. Do a
live show.
Do a live.
Or I guess in person.
I'm uglier in person. Don't worry about it. Descension. The epic 2-parter.
Yeah, I'm a dumbass, and I listened to Descension first, and then listened to Ascension. So I did not do them in order, so I was a little confused.
To me, Descension and Ascension are practically the same. Which, if you think about it, it's like a double album. It really is.
Yeah.
Yes. However, I think stylistically they're different. I think Descension is heavier.
Yeah, I would say.
Like we're following the same kind of idea, but I think Descension is significantly, noticeably heavier than Ascension is.
I gave it a 7. I gave that a 7. I wrote down it suffers like Ascension does, which I mean, somebody else is going to get it. It's with the songs good. It flows the story of what they're trying to talk about. You know what I mean? It's kind of the story of this futuristic endeavor, that they just made up themselves. Cool story. You can stretch it for so long. But I have an issue where when you write albums, what is the most important thing an album has to have for the consumer? Remembering the album, remembering songs. This album had no memorable parts to me. None.
Really?
Century the Defiant
Iron
is
Fist?
not memorable for you. Iron Fist.
Iron Fist is not memorable?
Is not memorable. None of this albums, and Ascension to me has nothing memorable about it too. Because the problem is, when you have 2 CDs that sound the same, their albums have a track record of a formula.
Were you asleep?
No, I listened to it twice. Every album is twice. I gave it a 7. I must have liked it. But what the problem is that, John, back me up.
Don't do it, brother.
Let's hear them out.
A lot of their albums are cookie cutouts. They really are. They're cookie cutouts. They have a couple songs that are like this rock groove. Then they have a couple of slow love songs. And then they have a couple of weird songs. And then they have their couple of Rush, Pink Floyd, even Faith No More-esque type of songs. I don't know if you caught that, John, of Faith No More. His singing back in the day was kind of like a Faith No More singing type of how he would sing over the groove. I know it's kind of a long stretch, but I feel like I was listening to it. They have a cookie cutter. They really do. The problem is...
I can see it.
Okay, so let me ask you, what's the difference between cookie cutter and bread and butter?
Bread and butter to me is that when the songs make you want to listen to them again. None of their songs, except 2 albums, made me want to listen to them again. Like, so when I'm in town, everybody, that's what the live is going to be. Is just me and Mark fighting each other about Coheed and Cambria. We're going to fight. There will be fisticuffs. What is it? I'll bring down the curtain. My favorite album is No World for Tomorrow.
Which one?
No World for Tomorrow.
No World for Tomorrow.
Their album, No World for
Good
Tomorrow.
Apollo.
Good Apollo and Burning Star, Volume 4. Yeah, Volume 2 rather.
No World. Yeah. That is my favorite album from them, because.
Okay, well, you're jumping the gun here.
Okay.
Hold on, we'll get to that. Okay. Right now we're talking about Dissension. You're wrong. Century the Defiant is an incredible song. Iron Fist is an incredible song.
One album. Should have been one album. They should have took songs from both of those and made one album. They were trying. I know what they did. Because they were trying to get out of a record deal. That's what they did. They made 2 albums in 1 year. You don't ever hear people doing that unless they're trying to get out of an album deal. That's what they did. The drummer, I'll give you this, Chris Penny is better.
Chris Penny's an amazing drummer.
I will give you that too. The drumming, I guess, because when I said, getting into the drumming is better. That's why I gave it a 7. To be honest, I probably, is it the red one or blue one?
Dissension is the red one, I do believe.
I'll put in Lawnmower. I can listen to it. I can put it in Lawnmower. Honesty is the rule of thumb here. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest.
I appreciate your honesty.
The Color is the lowest album I have, which is a 4. Everything else is a lot higher.
Still doesn't deserve to be a 4, but I understand your reasoning.
You're too personally involved in it. That's the problem. You are too involved. If you were not involved and picked your wedding album, your wedding song, that probably made it a 7 automatically. Or 6.
No, it definitely started. Well, everything starts at average, so you're right. It probably started as a 6 as opposed to starting on average. But I mean, 1 point bump I feel like is not insane, because 1 point bump still puts it above average.
The funny thing is, The Color, that album, you're like, but you still gave it a 7. You're like,
yeah. Because I still think the songs are really good. They're catchy.
Okay.
Again, they deviated from their whole thing, right? They're not really telling me a story, but the music is solidly there.
It is.
Yep.
And the very first one.
Hey.
Second Stage.
Second Stage Turbine Blade.
Who wants it?
To be fair, I was at your wedding and I don't remember that. So
You don't remember? Here to Mars?
No, I don't.
Literally everything was like Here to Mars, Galaxy. I freaking
that
went
why
had a tie. You got a tie too, right? A Galaxy
Yes,
tie?
I still have that tie.
Yeah.
I still
Well,
have
that's
that.
fine.
Oh, I had no idea, but that makes sense.
Your wedding song is Here
It's
to Mars.
full
No,
circle.
I mean, to be honest, like the only thing that I remember most about that day is watching the Caps
The
game
Cavs, yes!
and
So good.
being
My wedding was awesome.
and being drug out to the middle of the dance floor when the Devil's Dance Floor
Devil's
came
Dance
on
Floor, yep.
from Flogging Molly, which
Which is a really long song.
it's a really long, as it turns out, it's a really long song, and
Because we were in it for like a minute and a half. We're like, yeah, this is great. And then we're like, why is this song still going?
why is it still going? What are we doing? I don't know what to do. We're just like, what do we do? And then so we're just whatever, and then it's like, oh God, it's over. Great, now we can sit down again. Oh man,
Yeah.
that was a good time.
It was a good time. My wedding was great.
It was fun.
Anywho, Second Stage Turbine Blade.
Hey, noodles. Very first one.
Yep, I'm pretty sure I was actually cutting the grass when I was listening to this album.
So you're literally riding a lawnmower.
Yeah, riding the mower.
Riding a mower.
I actually listened to this twice because, and maybe even another half a time through, just because I was trying to figure out what I was listening to.
Okay.
Because and I'm, in all honesty, I was like, wow, this is like, is it a dude singing?
Oh, that, yeah, I've heard that. Mm.
I was like, this to me sounds like it could be Paramore. It could be like Bullet for My Valentine. Yeah, I know. Whatever. But
whatever.
and so I was like, I got to listen to this again just to make sure like I'm not missing something here. But it was I gave it a 6. It was a decent debut.
You need some.
I need help though.
You need some Benadryl. Calm down there. You need some Benadryl. Melatonin. What, Shannon? Is very first album.
Very first album.
You got to critique it being first.
Realistically,
Okay.
this album should be an 8 out of 10. I gave it a 9 out of 10 because it gets an extra point simply because it's the first album I ever heard by them. And the first time I ever saw them live, they were playing the album start to finish.
Oh.
So I gave them one extra point, but I still think this is a solid 8 out of 10 album. It's interesting. Like what if you're
tell me why it's interesting.
If you play any song from Second Stage Turbine Blade, does that sound like any other band? Okay,
No.
I also don't know other bands, but I'm just, I know the 12 bands that we have talked about.
We lived it.
On this show.
Me and him lived it. This guy. We were in that time frame. I personally think they get kind of put in the group with other acts that was during that time too. Like Chevelle, what else man am I thinking of? Flawed and Trap and this. They kind of get thrown in that mix a little bit. It's not fair, but it's just the way the world works.
Yeah.
I gave it a 7. I wrote the riffs are good, but the drumming is very plain. Very plain.
Yeah.
I feel like that's their Achilles. It's their Achilles. A lot of these songs is the drumming.
For the record, if I remember correctly, I think Chris Penny was playing live when I saw them.
I feel like when they got him, he added more depth to the songs.
I don't know that I don't remember what he was able to record though, because I know he's the drummer for the band Dillinger Estate Plan.
Yeah.
And so I know there was like contractual weirdness. So I feel like he wasn't able to record, but he played live with Coheed a lot.
That's why Taylor Hawkins recorded the Black Rainbow, because of the contract stuff with Chris Penny. So he couldn't record that one. He came in on the next one.
Yeah, he did 3 albums with them, right? He did about 3 with Coheed. And that's where you could tell a difference with a lot of it. But this is the first album I listened to. This is the very first one. I'm like, I have no idea about Coheed. None. 0. I thought the singing was good, but it could be very annoying at times too. And he has this, when he sings, he has a very unique voice. I think that gives the band a leg up on a lot of these other bands because he's able to sing different range, different way. But sometimes when you're like this, I don't like how you sing like this. You got to remember, I'm a metal dude. When I started listening to this, I'm like, okay, we're going down the hard rock.
This is not metal.
This is not metal. It's hard rock, metal-ish to a certain degree, because I'll tell you what, a lot of their songs on any album, I'm like, man, they should have kept that riff going, or the drumming could have went this way. And when he sings, I'm like, oh man, I can really feel it. And then they just do a 180, and you're like, damn it. I literally said, damn it. I don't know how many fucking times with a lot of these albums. And when I listened to this album, I gave it a 7, being such a good starting. I knew what I was getting into. Like, as soon as you hear this, you're like, okay, here we go. But I gave it a 7. I think it was a great start out.
I also, though, I want to applaud Coheed, though, for not, like, going too long with stuff. Right? Like, knowing when to be like, this song is over now.
It is a good...
We're not doing 15-minute songs, you know?
Only at certain parts. Which I did say with their second album, they have a long 10-minute thing. I'm like, I will say with Coheed, they do know how to pick certain moments to do certain things, but they do it so well, it makes me want them to do that section a couple bars longer. Or, man, if they would have did a double kick here, or a tom roll here, or, okay, the vocals should have stayed at a certain range. A lot of these scores could have been an 8, an 8.5. And, you know, I feel like sometimes they get in their own way. A lot of times. But I gave it a 7. Who wants to place this? What, you gave it an 8? 8.9.
I said realistically it's probably an 8, but I personally gave it a 9. I get an extra point just for nostalgia from me.
I'll let you have this one, Shannon. Where do you want to put it?
Oh, I would put it in super duper. Oh, shredding.
You really think that album is their best album?
It's not their best album, no.
That's what shredding is.
Okay, then it'll be, above Black Rainbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shredding is, you can listen, anybody can listen to an album front to back, and you know what I mean? Shredding is that, you know, that up there. That is their crown jewel, which I know what album it is.
The one. The one ring to rule them all. I see. Okay. Then yes, where it is where it is. Yep.
Okay. All right. Because if I've
been watching too many airplane facts with Matt.
I'm ready to roll them all. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that airplane facts with Max. That's my bad for you.
It's so funny. I'm actually, because of that, I'm reading the books. Like, I'm reading Fellowship right now.
Yeah, this dude I follow him on Instagram. He's like an airplane mechanic, and so he like talks about like different parts of the airplane, and then he just goes on like
Always ties
he
it into
always
this.
ties into something with Lord of the Rings for like a minute and a half, and it's just the best thing ever.
I feel like you could do that a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
With like life in general.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
oh, he did one where there was like, I don't know, was it a hurricane or something came through his town, messed
Oh,
up,
yep.
pushed the trees over and everything, and he's walking around doing, and he would just, oh, it reminds me of the time that such and such went through and all this stuff. It was just like, oh, that's the best, man. And I know nothing of Lord of the Rings because I haven't read it and I don't read books because I'm a slow reader and I just don't have time for that sort of thing.
Me either. Reading's for dorks. I'm joking. I'm joking.
How many books a year do you have to read to be considered a dork?
One.
What if you're at 78 for the year?
I don't think they made a word yet for that.
We'll have to make up one right now.
Yeah, total fuckness. I don't know. That's impressive though, because my attention span is like that small, and I'm like squirrel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to sit there. I just can't do it. Some reason me reading, even I had this problem in school. I'll read, but I can't retain. I just can't do it. And that's why I'm like, if you can read, good for you. I can watch TV all day and learn. I can learn from like visual. I'm not a book guy. I'm a hands-on guy. I developed into books. Problem is, I got to go over.
Have you read any like comic books?
I used to read a lot of comic books.
Okay.
But
just because that has a visual element of it.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I'm kind of dyslexic too, where I'll read stuff, not reading wise, but like number wise. I'll say backwards instead of like, hey, there's 1 or 2. I'll say no, there's 2 to 1. I just do that. I'm a weird dude. Can't help it. I'm just a weird fucking dude. All right.
We got on a tangent. I don't know what album we're on.
No World or Tomorrow.
Did we spin it? Did I not see that?
Yes.
Yeah, I myself. Okay.
I took care of it.
Oh,
guys.
We were nerd talking, so that's why.
I was Vanna White. I took care of it. You didn't see my pretty dress. The fuck. Feel fucking used.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. No Tomorrow. This album is my favorite album of them all. I gave this a 9 out of 10. I didn't even change the number. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I did not talk myself out of it. Because giving it a 9 out of 10 is like, it's shredding. To me, it's shredding. The concept is totally full in this album. Whatever the concept is, I understood it. Songs blend into each other very nicely. Very, very nicely. I'm a stickler for that. Because if you're doing a concept albums, it better be able to tell the story. Scenes from a memory. That's a prime example of a story that, yeah, you can pick tracks, but you got to listen to it from track 1 to the last track to tell the story. And I rate, dude, this is up there with Scenes of a concept. When I hear them doing solos, it's like getting fucking whipped cream on fucking ice cream, dude. It is fucking awesome. I relate it to food. I really do. I think their solos are really good at certain moments, and they picked really good ones to play. I thought it was great.
I don't disagree.
Now, And the last song from that album, I don't know if you guys, it is super Pink Floyd, Echoes. If you listen to the song Echoes, you would hear echoes in that song. I was like, hell motherfucking yes. I was like, this is really good. I give it a 9. I don't care if you shoot me. It's going into shredding. I think it's their best album.
I would never. This album is great.
What about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, also the artwork is awesome on the album cover.
They got very
This
unique
is one of their better album artworks, I think. Yeah.
Do they have a different drummer on this album too?
I feel like Eppard was through this album, but it could be wrong. I'm really bad at stuff like that.
I'll find out. John, what did you think?
I said the same thing. There's a definite theme or a mood throughout that you can just feel it. And I said they hit the distortion pedal a little bit more on this album.
They did. That's right.
So yeah, I mean it was pretty solid. I mean, I don't know, maybe again the headspace I was in, but like Justice and Murder was a great song.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Rick Rubin produced this album too. No wonder.
What does that mean?
No wonder. Rick Rubin is a very famous producer, from Beastie Boys to System of a Down to Run DMC, Jay-Z. He's a huge producer.
He produced a Metallica album.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, that we're not going to talk about. Okay.
Taylor Hawkins did this album too.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it a lot. Yeah, Taylor Hawkins.
But I agree. I mean, like, Feathers, Mother Superior, Graymakers and Gunslingers. Like this, this album is fire. I don't disagree.
Yeah. I like the ending too when it goes, radio, the end, the road.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they did that. That's the Rush aspect of them to do that. I great album. If I was going to listen to another one from them, it would be this one. Very much. So I'm going shredding.
I'll allow it.
I'll
I'm not going to argue.
It's a great album. It's a great album.
It is. It is a great album.
It's really good.
And this is their fourth one, right after their, let's just say, critically acclaimed album that got them on the map. Apollo, the very first one. That one right there.
Yep.
After that one, it was like, wow, they took the ball and they ran with it, because you always worry about when you make an epic album and it gets all this publicity, you're like, what are you going to follow up with?
Then you follow up that.
They do. And Ascension. You know my feeling.
Ascension, yeah.
Who wants that?
I listened to Ascension after Descension, so I was a little kind of backwards on the story of it. And then I was like, oh, well, that makes sense that the stuff I listened to previously would go with it. But I said that, I mean, really the only thing I have is, like, they always have to throw in that weird song. There's always that one, and I don't remember. And I don't remember which one it was, but I was like, oh,
Good Night, Fair Lady.
Good Night, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
They have a way of writing. You kind of can figure out, like, because they have key, entity, attraction. They have 1, 2, 3, and 4. They have a certain way of writing. Mm-hmm. That's their bread and butter, is how they write.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. Subtraction is a good song. I thought
Subtraction's a good song. Yeah, I thought
Yeah, that was
they.
good.
I think it was a great way to end that album.
True. I feel bad saying. I mean, I gave it 7. I gave this one a 7
Okay.
too. I thought back
I
and
also
forth.
gave this a 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is it? I'm guessing Lawnmower, but is it better than Descension or The Color?
No, I think Ascension is definitely a weaker album than either of those.
Okay. Is it?
I would almost even allow I would.
What do you
But
think?
see, I don't know because we put Color Before the Sun in Lawnmower, and I don't think Ascension is significantly worse. I think Descension is better than Color,
Okay.
and then Ascension is also better than Color.
Well, we'll put in
So I go Descension, Ascension.
Well, remember, you do get one to change.
That's how I do.
You do get to change one. So that might be your play. Might be.
We'll have to see what other nonsense you come up with here.
Whoa.
I only get. I gotta pick my battle here.
Hey, I gave
I
these
have
guys
to
good ratings.
rate the most egregious song.
I made one album.
Great.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. They're good.
Fight me.
They're good. I'm just saying.
They're
were
great.
good.
They're great.
In Keeping Secrets of the Silent Earth 3. What is up with these fucking titles? They are very eclectic. Very eclectic.
Well, remember this is all the sci-fi world that they've created,
I know.
right? So
Well, it's more the lead singer kind of created it. Like he came up with the idea when he was in France.
So like
and
the music came. Then he did comic books after to like fill in the blank where people are like, "What is this story that you're telling? Like we only kind of get it. Like we want more of this."
Yeah.
And that's when he did the comics for some of them.
Who wants it?
What are we doing? Sorry.
In Keeping
Oh, the Silent Earth.
Secrets, yes.
Sure, I'll take it. Why not? Let me get back to where I was at.
I don't appreciate your lack of enthusiasm right now.
I gave it a 7.5. It was a good second album from them. It was better than the first one. Definitely was to me.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
It is a better album.
Very much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I may have gotten my notes confused with the Dragonfly album there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Southern
reversed.
Yeah, because
Second Stage Turbine Lead.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still confused. I was still confused by his voice, and then
What I did say, I will chime in on that one. Singing from clean to the growl he's doing in this one was a good addition. Being able to, is that him growling? I guess it's him or somebody else.
I don't know, actually.
It was a good addition to the vocal pattern. Let's put it like that. I did like his vocals a lot better in this one.
I did say they sound to me like any band that was on the one of the greatest racing video games of all time, Burnout 3 Takedown.
Yes.
Like any of the bands on that soundtrack, like they would fit right in with like Yellow Card and.
That's it. I was trying to think of another band, Yellow Card. That's
like Local H and.
Shit.
I think Sugar Cult was on there too, weren't they?
They were, yeah. Sugar Cult was on there.
I saw Local H.
Fall Out Boy was on there. I mean, that's just that.
I feel like Coheed and Cambria get sandwiched in a lot of those bands.
Yeah.
And a lot. They get. I'll I'll be honest with you. Ever since like their Apollo one that gave them like awards and everything, you really haven't heard much from them unless you're a diehard fan.
That's probably true.
You know what I mean? But
That's probably true. I love this album though. I think this album's great. I think it's dynamic. I think it's constructed well. I think you're still following that same story. I gave it 9 out of 10.
I did like their 21
Like solidly.
Yep.
2113.
2113.
Blood Red Summer is on this album.
Yep. I did like Blood Red Summer too.
I wrote down solos.
Crowing.
The solos to me, okay, your drumming's a certain way. I kind of have to get used to it, right? You ain't going to change that. At least cover it on the back end with the growling part, give it a dynamic, the solos in it, a dynamic. And I feel like after a certain amount of albums, they kind of didn't keep that in their repertoire or used it on the albums. I feel like that's maybe one of the reasons I kind of like the earlier stuff a little bit more. Because the later stuff, I'm like, man, what happened to like...
They do get a little poppy, a little more poppy later.
Hard rock pop.
Yeah.
Very much.
Which I dig. Anytime I can do this, I'm about it.
They are... I thought I was listening to a couple of their albums, and first thing came in my head is you like them because you could put down the windows in your car and drive through the summertime.
Oh,
That's the type of band they are. They are a summertime band.
Yep. Love it.
So.
Yeah, I did. Ah, man, which one? Because I was driving to one of these. It may have been. I can't remember. Dude, I can't remember now because we were driving back we went to Charleston one day, and I was like, I need to listen to more of these albums, and then yeah, like I was kind of popping my head around, going, yeah, I can get into this. It may have been like a No World or Black Rainbow.
Gotcha. The good ones.
Yeah, I think it was No World that I was kind of like, yeah.
I think Devil in Jersey City might be my favorite one to just like windows all down and like scream that.
I was pushing the lawnmower a little bit faster during that one.
So, where are we putting this? Where are we going to put this?
I would put it in shredding if it were me.
John, what do you think? Where would you put it? I was going to put it in like
I was going to put it there.
Lower end of like it's there in lower end. It's close to a
lot. Second Stage Turbine Blade is better.
No, I don't. But I got to leave the list where it's at. I can't.
You can put it above Second Stage, though. You can put it above Second Stage Turbine, though.
I believe Year of Black should be better than Turbine. See where I'm having? I believe Year.
Oh, I see. You want to fully just.
The horns.
I see.
So I'll leave it in and we'll just be to me. Okay, it's underneath the very first album, but it's only like 0.5 better than the first album, like to a certain extent to me. It's not like holy shit. It's No Tomorrow to Turbine. That's a difference to me. Yeah, so I'm okay with it. Fuck it, whatever it did.
Yeah, no, I was just looking.
Don't take this shit seriously. Fuck it.
No, I was just looking through some stuff, and yeah, Taylor Hawkins only was drumming on the No World.
Okay,
that's the only one that he.
That's the only one.
Chris Penny came in.
So was Everett before and Penny after?
Yeah, Penny was the one we were talking about. That was Taylor Hawkins, but we were wrong. That's why I like No Tomorrow, because Taylor Hawkins was on that one. So confused.
It's very confusing.
Good Apollo, I'm Burning Star for Volume 1. Jesus Christ, why does the titles have to be so fucking long? Shit.
From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness.
Sure.
Because these are comic books. That's why. That's why they're so long. Like, yes, it's music, but these are comic books.
You do not name a comic book that fucking long. You don't name a comic book that long?
No, you
The
really
Amazing
don't.
Spider-Man is probably the longest comic book title I've ever heard. Or like the Spectacular Spider-Man.
But then it's like, but that's like the main title, right? And then you have like colon whatever volume 1, right? Because you have like your subplots, right, that are going to bring your stuff together.
It's a book. I think it's a book.
Don't die over there.
I'll take this one.
Oh, I have a horrible.
All right.
I'll take this one. I'll take this one.
I don't know that I want you to take this one, but okay.
I gave it an 8.5. I gave it a good score. I thought it was a lot better than the first.
Oh, you gave it a better score than I did, actually.
I gave it 8.5.
But okay.
This is the first album. This is their critically acclaimed album. We have to remember that too. But before I thought about that, this one's like the full band concept to me it's at its peak. Like they figured out production, the sound, the what they did on the first 2 albums. I think they took that, and this is the right album to have. It was at a good time too. 2007. They won awards from it. They got, I think, a Grammy nod from it too, if I'm not mistaken. I know Metal Hammer or they got what's that metal fucking show? Metal Gods or something. They got an award from them. Pretty big. A Metal God, like album of the year. They gave it to this band, and they are not a metal band. They are a hard rock band. So it was pretty cool to see that.
Like a Jethro Tull with a Grammy
situation. Right? I even talked about the solos again. They sprinkled them in. The concept was great, and also too, they know how to take stuff from other bands and they put it in their albums. The last song, The Willing Well, Final Cut, Pink Floyd all the fucking way. I'm like, that's what you do. This album was very close to being my favorite one. Very close. I think it was a little too long, though. Having 15 tracks. It's a little too long. Just a little bit.
Because but it told the story, and I don't think it dragged.
It's something about it that was just a little bit too long for me. But it's 15 tracks. No Tomorrow was 13. I don't know. I mean, it's an hour and 11 minutes long. It's a long album. That's a pretty long album. No Tomorrow was just an hour. Hour to me is kind of a cut a lot of times, depending on what type of band you are. Dream Theater, you're using 80 minutes of all fucking 80 minutes, right? Metallica, you kind of go 70 minutes a little bit, depending on what they are. Punk band is 30 minutes, like Black Flag, 40 at the most. This hour for them.
I think time is only relevant in albums if I actually end up having to think about it. Does that make sense? Like if an album's 3 hours, but like I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm still in the same, like I'm still following whatever, then like it can be 3 hours. Who cares?
Well, also too, I feel like
even though this is a 70-minute album, for me, it didn't drag.
Mother May I, like that song could have been like X-Nade to me. Like that's one of those songs I'm like, why does it gotta be weird? It had the weird moments, right?
Yeah.
I will still say this album does go in shredding.
It's up there.
It's up there. It is.
I mean, Keeping the Blade is just a freaking awesome opener.
They do have good song
Yes.
titles. I'll tell you this
Yes.
much: their riffing,
Yes.
like if I want to say how close
I
they
mean,
can
obviously,
come,
Welcome Home.
Welcome Home is awesome.
that is their Black Flag, Fly the Flag. That's everybody knows
That's
them
the
from that
song that if you've ever heard, if you've ever heard Coheed and Cambria, even if you don't know that you've heard them because you've heard Welcome Home.
Because you've heard this
You've heard
song.
this song.
This is their Pull Me Under.
Yep.
This is their Enter Sandman. This is,
that. Yeah, just that keeping the blade. Because like a lot of times I'll listen to songs, and like you have your thing with like the gym. Is it going to pump you up for the gym? I have these songs like if I was like an MMA fighter or like a wrestler or somebody.
Entrance music.
It's entrance music, right?
Okay, I could go with that. That's pretty cool.
Like I can see myself walking up to whatever, and this thing
That's
is
so
playing.
cool.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
hey, whatever gets you in that headspace, man. I hear you.
So that's how I judge a lot of songs too. Where I'm like, can I walk up to this? Is this a walk up song?
Now, I gave it a 8.5. I'm guessing you guys probably give it 8. Right?
I give it a 7.5.
I also gave it an 8.
Okay, so I rated it a little higher. I didn't want to be like, oh, this is their crowning achievement, blah blah blah, because they had that song, and I really try to keep an open mind because I knew that song. I did. It's a cool song. The video is really fucking cool too. It's really epic. I remember it was thunderstorms, and they were like on a mountain or some shit like that. But the album to me,
the video.
Yeah, it's one of those 2000 thunderstorms in the background, shit. But I thought it was a great album. I really enjoyed it. It just one or two songs could have been, but
yeah,
it's good enough.
I feel like that with a lot of these albums,
right?
They're like, I didn't hate it. I didn't skip anything on any of them.
Oh, the last 2 albums. Yeah, look at that.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, that is super weird.
That doesn't really happen that much, does it?
No. Unheavenly.
Yeah.
Shannon, would you like to take this one?
Yeah. I mean, I'll take any of them.
I bet you would.
I
dying on here.
Everything by this band is awesome. Yeah. I have a legit like sinus infection. It's bad. I took so much drugs before I got on so that I could be semi-coherent. Yeah, drugs for the win.
You're Coheed. You're Coheed.
So yeah, I mean, I still, it's Coheed. Like I can't skip this.
You're Coheed. All right. All right.
Yeah, so this I think still a solid album. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
I think that my least favorite song on here for sure is Toys.
Yeah.
It's real cringy. It's cringe. But it's only that one. But the I think the guitar riffs in that song are pretty sweet. So it balances out. In terms of like I wouldn't skip it. I would never skip anything by this band. But
you die behind Coheed.
That is a hill she will die on.
I will die on this.
Even this album, really?
Even this album, no. It's catchy. It's interesting. There's good. Again, Toys is probably that's the one that's jumping out to me as being like those lyrics real cringy. Like, which again, we're still following the story that they've created. So good. But
John, did you listen to this one?
I did. Yeah, I did. I think I listened to this one twice because I was doing something and like got distracted, so I had to like listen to
usual.
Yeah. Well,
John.
Yep. Doing what I do.
Do what you do.
And I, as much as I love music, man, like sometimes I can just not stay focused on it. And
I will say this band is hard sometimes to be in it because sometimes you're like, what track am I on?
yeah, it's
hard times.
because a lot of times things are like the transitions are seamless to the next one, and you're
Yeah.
just like,
Which I think is kind of the point with concept albums, right?
No, it totally is, and but like I'm, you know,
That's
like
why we had to listen to it for a second.
It does make it difficult though to pick like this song specifically was the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, like
I get the pavilion stuck in my head all the time.
And I really got, I don't know, the Dark Sentencer was stuck in my head for a while. Queen of the Dark was another one that was just kind of there. And yeah, Lucky Stars stuck out too. It's always the last tracks.
Yeah.
Like the first
They
track,
do have good
they
last tracks.
they bookend really well.
They do.
And that is something that I really like too about Coheed is like sometimes they'll throw in elements in a song where you're kind of like, what you doing there, guy? But then it comes back, and it's right, like, but it comes back, and it's like, oh, okay, again, like we're pulling in this whole concept of it. It's not just thrown out there. There is a purpose.
I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8, and I thought it was really good. I do like the concept of the back and forth of the songs. I think they were really good. But there again, my biggest gripe with this band is the drumming. It is the drumming part. I feel like the guitar work is always good. The vocals are better within the 5th album on. I feel like
His vocals definitely got better.
Yes.
I feel like that.
They did get better.
I feel like, and it could just be me, but I feel like in this album, the drums were kind of further back in the mix. They were not as prominent.
He was just there.
He was there.
He's a placeholder for, like, some bands. You feel like, okay, this band, the guitars and drums are the main focus, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is a really Primus heavy bass drumish. The guitars are there just to be there. Metallica is always the riffing and a little bit of the drums, but the drums can come in at certain parts. Dream Theater a certain way. I always feel like the drums are like, hey, we just need you to play as basic as possible. Don't go crazy.
We need drums.
Don't go crazy. Just keep time back there,
please. And like, I gave it an 8. The Gutter is a great song. I thought The Gutter was a great song because I caught the Queen reference in there too. I caught Queen in that song. I was like, oh, look at that. This song's fucking awesome. If you listen to it, there's a huge Queen part in it in a couple bars. I was like, okay. That is one thing I do appreciate this band. They do take their reference of music and tries to put it in their music in some way on their terms. Not really doing covers, but taking parts and just throwing them in songs. You're like, wow, that really sounds like this, or this really sounds like that. There was a purpose behind it, and I can appreciate that. I think that's really cool. It's like saluting the band you love without trying to rip them off.
Yeah, because I did hear a little bit of Dream Theater in there too.
They know how to blend it without getting copyrighted.
Yeah.
It's somewhat.
There was certain,
you gotta play smarter, not harder.
That's right.
I mean, because there were certain just little nods, little winks to like
Pink Floyd, Rush, Queen. I heard Queen. That's why I heard I listened to his album today. I was like, wow, that was Queen. I was like, oh, look at that. It was very that wide open Queen song that that they can really do. But where are we putting this, Miss Shannon? I would say your last name, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, never.
No.
Say my name, never.
We'll call you Pinky, Blackie, and I'm ready. See, red.
I would put this
That's right.
album. I would either say high lawnmower, low yeah.
Really? Okay. I would say yeah.
Based on the other things, because like I don't think it's better than In Keeping Secrets, but it's definitely better than Color Before the Sun.
Okay. What do you think, John? You think yeah?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Listen here, brother. All right. The
Let me tell
very
you, brother.
let me tell you something. The very latest one, Baxis 2. That's what it's called. Baxis 2.
Yep.
To end out Coheed and Cambria.
A window of the waking mind.
So deep with their words.
Yeah.
How do we collectively feel about
This
this
one?
album?
For me, it's another solid album, 7 out of 10. Definitely more
I would
mainstream,
say
kind of poppy.
I give it a 7. I think it's a good album. It has its moments where, there again, something about Coheed, it's like, damn it, why didn't you hold that longer? Or do a couple more bars? Or
Why do you have to have the weird song in there?
But they are always that group where they're on that edge of, man, I know you can put some double bass in this fucking shit. I know you can, but you choose not to. And I appreciate it. Sometimes that stuff can be eating pizza every day, but I love eating pizza every day. So I love it. But they are that band, they are so close of, okay, they could go in this realm and be like, man, that chugging, man, hold it longer, but they choose not to.
And I can't, was this the one, like, I think, was it Window of the Waking Mind, where they just, like, it just ends and that's it? Like the very last song?
Yep.
It stops and that's the end of the album and we're done.
That's right.
And I like that. I like that. I don't, it's cool to me that, you know, that's another Dream Theater kind of, you know, like,
Finally Free.
Finally Free. What was the other one? It wasn't Systematic Chaos, or was it? I can't remember. I'll think of it later and go, yeah, hey, that was cool.
Yeah. I think this is a good album. I gave it a 7. I do think the first Baxis is better. There's something about it. I would probably put this in Lawnmower, personally. Like, kind of like above.
Above Color?
Yeah. I would say above Color or behind it. One of the two.
Oh, it's got to be above.
You think this is above Color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like Comatose, Love Murder 1, Liars Club, like all of those songs are just like.
I heard they're in writing mode now. I heard they're recording something for next year. So I'm pretty excited. Now, everybody gets one move. Since this is Shannon's show, we'll give her the first move.
I would like the last move, I think, since it's my show.
Oh, John.
Wow.
Oh.
It would like the final move.
John?
So that I can unfuck some.
Well, you got two fuckeries here, so you better pick which one.
Mm.
What do you think, John? Or unless you're happy with it, we can leave it alone.
You know, I don't know.
You want me to go first? I'll go first. Oh, I'll go first.
I'm sure you will.
I will go first if you want. It's up to you.
Go ahead. No, go right ahead.
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
I'll allow it. The album overall, I don't disagree.
I personally think this is their lowest album. To be honest, it is. If it wasn't for this, the group would be a 7 to 7.5 as a whole. I think they stay true to themselves, even about certain things.
Even this album is still a 7.
They would probably get a 7.5 to 8 if it wasn't for this album.
That album, you gave him an 8 out of 10 on an album.
I gave that one a 4.
I know, and it is a travesty because this is so much better than anything him has ever come out with.
I can go back to the records if you want.
Yes. That is a terrible band.
I think him, I gave every album almost a 6 or 7 and above. Like, I couldn't believe
nothing of
his
his was even average. No, this album is better than that. Still a 7. Whatever. We can talk about this forever. It's fine. Moving right along.
So you can undo that.
I won't actually fight you on that though.
Okay, all right.
I won't fight you on the placement. Your 4 out of 10 is bullshit, but I won't fight you on the placement.
That's fair enough.
No, I mean, I would say it's pretty good. The only thing I would do, just because I would flip flop Black Rainbow and whatever the first one is.
You want Black Rainbow above Second Stage Turbine Blade?
That's the one.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Shannon. It is the final piece to the puzzle.
What is the most important thing?
The most important thing.
What is the most important thing that gets righted right now?
No pressure.
No.
There's a lot of this is not entirely the ranking that I would have for this. What I am going to do is I'm going to take Descension, which is your Pink album.
Okay.
And I'm going to move that to be below In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3, but above Unheavenly Creatures.
So, like here? Or here?
There, I think is what she was referring to.
So you like that one more than Heavenly Creatures, really?
I do.
Okay, all right. I do notice
it. I think that album specifically benefits from being shorter. Okay. But like I think Century Defiant alone, the album belongs in like literally just for that song. Okay. That song is so freaking fire.
I do notice that the order that we just put it in, look at the bottom, going all the way to the top. A lot of newer stuff's at the bottom. A lot of the older stuff is high. I feel like a lot of bands kind of have that realm. Like I said, I give this band a 7, 7.5. I thought they were enjoyable. They are a lot better than New York Dolls.
Yeah.
I do give them a step up above him. I do believe.
18 steps above him, but go ahead.
One step, just one step above him.
Many more steps.
I would say there are more steps above him, but
okay, all right, fair enough. I think they could have been a lot better with what they did with the music-wise, but that makes them.
I think there's always room for improvement. There will be no band that is perfection.
Yeah, I feel like the drumming is their issue. I really do. Yeah. Singing, we could talk about the singing, but he knows how to sing. He knows how to do certain things with it. Maybe some of them I don't agree with, but the guy can sing. I know he can. The drumming is the problem. And I feel like that shouldn't be the fucking problem. Like the bass, when you can't hear it in the mix. That's fine. You know?
Whatever.
You hear the drumming. And I feel like sometimes his singing and guitar work has to compensate for the lack of drumming. It should be kind of cohesive.
And I don't know if that is a conscious effort
Yeah, right?
on everyone's part, or if it's just, well, this is how it is, and we're good with that.
Yeah. But all in all, I did enjoy listening to him. I did like him.
Because again, like you guys were saying, some bands are gonna focus on certain parts more, and I think for them, it's the lyrics / vocals and the guitar.
Story.
And the story. That's the thing.
They're trying to sell books.
I tried to go into it not having it as hyped up as it has been given to me for the last 10 years. So
for the record, 15, and I started like, oh brother, this band's kind of okay, like they're pretty cool. I think you might like them. Maybe check them out. And then it had to ramp up because you're like, yeah. So then I'd be like, dude, this band's great. Listen to them. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, no, but they're so good.
Did John?
I ramped up.
He was the guard at the gates of music. He was not letting them come through the gates. That's what he was doing. He was the gatekeeper.
I was the gatekeeper.
He was the gatekeeper. I used to be like that too. I hear you. You had your niche. You had your,
I really did for the longest time, and it's only been within maybe the last 5, 6, maybe 7 years that I've really expanded stuff that I listen to. Because it was, for me, it was like, it was Big Four, and like Pantera, like that thrash, like you, just in that thrash box. And I had some.
I like that.
I had some things that were the guilty pleasures, like the Huey Lewis's and Neil Diamonds of the world.
Sure.
And
Fears, that's mine.
That's because I'm mom. But,
well, sure, but and then it, and I loved some Deep Purple and Led Zeppelin and all that stuff, but yeah, now it's just starting to.
Thank you for bringing this band to the front. I appreciate it.
I literally, I was just playing the long game. I'm like, I gotta get John to listen. How do I get John to listen to this fucking band? He's never gonna listen to him, and this now I had to do it.
Well, John's turn is in September. We're going to pick a day. He's going to do his band to pick. So, John, you have a whole month to think about it. It could be any band in the world. It could be a band on the list. You're like, we really need to listen to them. It could be one album. It could be 10. So think of the band. I'll get with you beforehand. Be like, hey, next week we'll announce it or whatever. But today we go back
to the wheel.
To the wheel. Dun, 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 dun.
You need to get some background.
I know, right?
Like some background music for the wheel.
I got to figure that out. I got to quit being so dumb.
All right, here we go. Shuffle.
Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. And now.
There you go.
That sounded good. This is the best part because nobody knows who it is. We could be free, whatever band comes up. We have been on this notion of going to death metal and like black metal. It's just the way it happens. And thrash. We have been kind of the exodus, a little thrashy. But you see the wheel. I don't choose. That's the best part about this. And I really hope when John brings a band in, it's not a band on here too, so we can bring it to the forefront.
You said what? There were 300 to start though. So.
Yeah. The Who.
What?
What?
Oh man.
Wow, this is
That's
pretty
it.
awesome. All right.
Oh, man.
Woo.
Rock on.
Literally
If
only
you-
know Pinball Wizards, so this will be good.
Really?
Oh, wow. You have not watched any of the NCIS shows?
No.
Every single NCIS has a different Who song as their theme song.
That's right. Man, they made a lot of money. I know they did. They had to make money off of that so much.
Oh, they had to.
I don't have to
Good
say
for
who
them.
the
Just by the way.
do what?
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah, them and them. Yeah. Well, the Who is next. I don't think I need to talk about the Who. I think we all know who they are.
We all know who the Who is.
The Who is. And I think this is a good opportunity because this is kind of a classic rock for everybody. I think the New York Dolls was the farthest back. Now the Who is kind of like, we're talking 60s a little bit here too. But
Yeah,
we
this
got
will be.
got a plethora of albums to go through.
Yep. And I feel like they're probably, oh, pardon me, I feel like they're not very long. I could be wrong though.
I'm seeing a 2019 album.
We're gonna have. There's a lot of live albums on here, so I'm going to have to confer with.
I'm on the wiki.
On the Wikipedias.
And
I'll have to write this down.
we go through 82, but then 2006 there's Endless Wire, 2019 is Who.
So studio albums 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, Who, 2019.
Yep, so we got 12. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah. Because you see a big gap when it hits 82, 2006.
Yeah.
But that's when Keith Moon, I think, died too, or roughly around that time, their drummer.
Yeah. Was it 82?
Might have been. Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to leave you and take care of my screaming children downstairs. So.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for bringing the band. And the Who's next. So
the
we'll
Who.
go from there. The Who. All right.
That'll be good.
All right.
All right. Say bye, Internet.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
Later.